in of these layers. Like I feel like every time we bring somebody in, it's a special moment. I know 8 years of doing this, I really love to anchor in and just sit with what the person is saying so that we can discover. And if you have any questions, you just add your comments, add questions, whatever. I am your host, and I love to hear from you. And if you're hearing this in replay, then make sure that you're adding stuff in because I will get dinged that I have a question, and then we'll make sure that Verlaine also gets part of what's happening. Hey, Verlaine Crawford, thank you for coming in. I wanted to do an introduction, but welcome in, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I am very happy you are here. We're going to do some experiential stuff today too. So we're going to be talking about like the power of wholeness and and a lot around just the spiritual journey, the health journey. And so we'll talk about what the experiential thing that you're going to be doing also. And what she was saying, I get to be the guinea pig. I love that. I mean, like, I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. Like whatever I say, I just go, well, that's just the way I feel now. You know what I mean? Like, so never worry about something live. And then like, what if I say anything wrong? Because it's all good. It's all good. All right, let me do an introduction. First I want to say this is seriously hashtag speaker locking arms. We are out there really supporting, and anytime we open up our voice and we get to share stories and share expertise, like Verlaine is going to be talking about some really just grounded, but experiences that I haven't heard really anybody talk the way that Verlaine does. So it's really going to be a special time to be able to have her for this half an hour. So it says topics to be covered by Dr. Verlaine Crawford. It says, what does it mean to experience the power of wholeness? Would you like to end the battle of conflicting thoughts inside your head? Why don't you get what you want when you want it? You desire health, wealth, great relationships, and self expression? Why don't you have it all? Oh, I love this where this is going. So, Dr. Verlaine Crawford is a transformational coach, international speaker, and international best-selling author of 6 award-winning books, including self-help and poetry. In the 1990s, she was invited to teach personal growth and spiritual awakening in Japan, Hong Kong, Australia, Bali, France, Italy, and across the US. Dr. Verlaine developed an integration process to help people bring together conflicting beliefs that serve as blocks to creating the 4 cornerstones of life: health, wealth, love, and creative self-expression. The process is outlined in her book, The Power of Wholeness: Discover a More Fulfilling, Successful, and Rewarding Life. Verlaine has practiced the concept that our thoughts create our reality. Oh my gosh, I love this. And manifested her soulmate, now together 55 years, and an exciting 40-year career in marketing. She served as the first woman executive of several high-tech companies in Silicon Valley. Her clients include a wide variety of business and Fortune 500 companies. She has received many awards, and in 2023, she received the honorary doctorate degree in humanitarianism and the Global International Advocate University. Wow, superstar. Here's Dr. Verlaine Crawford.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I sometimes can't believe all the things that have happened, and just really it's been a great life. I've had difficulties, it's not like everything has been perfect. But I've learned from it, and that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, Verlaine, it's knowing that we get to participate in life and that we're going to be talking about health also. And I think about like, how much better can we take care of this lease that we have on this body? We're playing, we're having fun on earth. And how can we do it in a way where we really manage our health so that we really listen in on what we're seeking in life, but also be able to feel like we have the mobility and things going on. My question for you, and I'm going to open this up pretty broad, is since you're talking about a very big area. We're talking spirituality, we're talking health. So what is it that you do where it really opens it up, like everything tethers together? It really opens everything up that when you're doing your work, it's in connection with so many things. Can you share more about what you do with these companies and your clients and what you're doing lately?
Yes. I guess I'd like to start first with just how I got on this pathway. I was 22 years old and was in an elevator and met a man who saw that I was unhappy and I was sad because a friend was in the hospital. And he went ahead and told me through example, showing me and telling me that our thoughts create our reality. And he had made a list of the things he wanted and the dates by which they would happen. And each thing happened. And he showed me he had a building that he owned on Wilshire Boulevard. He was driving in a beautiful new Thunderbird. And this was, 60 years ago. But that moment and that experience completely set me on a path of exploring and understanding, beginning to understand how we create a reality. And so I made my list and everything came true. It was so bizarre. It was like a treasure hunt. And that's how I see it when we make a list of what we want. And the reason you put a date is then you can look and see, well, if it didn't happen by that date, what was going on with us that we stopped it. Okay. And so when I made my list, I was a crazy list from my point of view. I was going to fashion design school. This is something I decided to do after I went to college. And I said, well, I'd be modeling by a certain date and I'd be living in a beautiful apartment at the beach. And I just put this great list. And the last one was I'd be driving an XK Jaguar on my birthday.
Yes.
All of it happened. And the birthday thing, the XKE, was I was dating a fellow who had a yellow XKE. And on my birthday, he didn't know about the list. He said, would you like to drive my car to the restaurant tonight? I mean, that is such a bizarre thing to do anyway, or mention. And I said, okay. And so I'm driving. I didn't ask to own it, right? I just said I'd be driving. So it set me on a course of telling everybody, make a list, put the date, and then I was on watching, this is when I'm going on my jobs, when people I'd meet and just watching what happened with them. And I saw that sometimes that what they asked for didn't manifest completely. One lady that didn't like men decided that she wanted to be married by a certain date. And she hadn't been on a date for a number of years. And so she did get some dates, which was amazing. She was an older lady at the time. But she didn't get married by that date. Well, she had so much resistance on that, a belief about men and so forth, and a belief about stopping that from happening. So I kept watching and watching. And anyway, it's such a long story, and I'm not going to tell all of it. But the bottom line was I came upon a workshop that I needed desperately, and I didn't know. It was a neurolinguistics workshop. Within it was a certain period of time. It was a 3-day thing. And it's like about an hour that he said, we're going to do an integration technique that, do I have a volunteer? And I'm going, because I wanted to reconcile and release the upset and pain I had from being attacked in a garage and stabbed in the back and having a collapsed lung. All of that happened to me when I was 27.
Wow.
And so he took me through this experience with this integration technique. And I was free. I could travel again. I was able to be not afraid all the time. It was incredible. I could watch TV. I could watch the news. I could watch a scary movie, and my hands weren't sweating and being a wreck. So I used it for everything. If I had any kind of upset, okay, I was going to put the part of me that's upset about it here and the part of me that doesn't want to be upset over here, and let's find out what they're both doing for me. So it's the concept that we have subpersonalities. We have parts of us. We've divided in many different parts because of the beliefs that they hold. And we can collect these beliefs, from school, from our parents, from our jobs, from the media, and we start collecting beliefs. And what's interesting is we have opposing beliefs, right?
Mhm.
We say, it's wonderful to be rich. It would be great. And the other part of me is going, oh, yeah, but there's some problems with that, And so we have this conflict, and those are the blocks. You hear people saying so much, oh, your beliefs are, you've got to get rid of your beliefs. Well, you don't get rid of your beliefs. I think of it like that we think of ourselves as captain of our ship, master of our fate, right? And the only problem is it's a pirate ship and the crew is planning mutiny.
I'm already interested. It sounds like a scary movie. A
Right.
scary life.
And they've got all these different parts. I want to go this way. I want to go that way. I want to go home. And then down in the hold and chains is the part that ever so often yells out, let's go on a credit card tour of the world. Right. So we have all these different things going on. And it's just fascinating because sometimes when I work with people and I say, okay, you're going to put the problem that's created the cancer on one hand and another part
Mm.
that wants to live on the other hand, and the part that wants to be well actually starts beating up the one who wants to be cancer or strangling it. There you are. It's fascinating because even without thinking about it, we know that we have a battle going on within
Yeah.
us, right? That was my first book, Ending the Battle Within. And then I rewrote it recently into The Power of Wholeness because I wanted to update it. I wrote it first in 1994 and gave a lot of examples, and a lot of them are there, but there's much more now. Everything from weight loss to addiction to wealth to getting the loving relationship you want, because it works for all of it. And when I went to Japan a number of times teaching, and I did private sessions with a translator, which takes basically half your time, and working with them for just an hour, they would have an amazing shift. Okay. Where we
Wow.
would go through whatever their problem is, do the integration, bring them together, and it would shift. It's like what I think it is, the situation is, I think our beliefs are held like crystals in our brain. And we hold those crystals of memories and ideas and beliefs that we have, concepts of reality. When we do the integration, when we bring the two sides together, which we'll go through so people can see how it works, when we bring it together, I think those crystals melt. It like
Mm.
almost instantly they shift and melt. And so what happens? You have wholeness. You've come together. You have your full power. And what it's done for me, oh wow, it's just to be at peace and feeling joyful for no reason at all. No reason at all.
It's all
Just
coming from inside, Verlaine.
yeah, yeah, it's just there because no matter how much I might get upset the political landscape or wars or anything that's going on, I do. I react, and I say, okay, what's it doing for you to react to this? What's it doing? And you say, well, da, 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 and then you go through the little dialogue, and it's just fascinating. So, and I used it with my clients, and the shift I see is immediate, and I want to teach as many people who are teachers and counselors and coaches and get this to be a normal concept, because once it's how we negotiate. Now Trump takes it to extremes because he'll push and push and push until he can get them at a point where they're at an even Steven kind of negotiation. In this particular concept, you are negotiating with these different parts of yourself. What if you could have all that you want on this deal, that all that you think you need, and I could have what I want? And it's fascinating. So, yeah, I do too. I really do.
Verlaine,
And
I think that this is where we should go because you're bringing so much curiosity about what's not working, what's working, and the exercise with that. Are you okay if we go right into the health area that you want to have in the experiential space here?
yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'll let you lead, my friend.
Okay, what would you, my dear Rhonda, what in your health would you like to change, or what is bothering you that you would like to um, make better?
I know that I am working with inflammation in my body. And I know that I'm and the events that are happening is around my menopause time. And I feel that can be complicated sometimes.
Okay, so it appears from what I think we talked about before and what I have experienced, and I know many, many people out there, is weight gain, right? Because we all, there's so many of us in our country, particularly, that have gained weight. Partially, we did it during pandemic, right? And then we uh, haven't been able to lose it. So is that all right with you that we concentrate on that? Because
That
that's
is, yeah, it's great because that's where I'm noticing yeah, and really I feel like where we're going with this is like such a connection with what I've been working on because it's like the emotional connection of the waking up and back. If I'm having a great day, things slim down like so quick. And then when I'm working through things or just feeling stuck, my body is all of a sudden goes, stop
yeah,
sign.
that's great. I love the sound. It is definitely like that. All right. So what we do in this is we ask the part of us. One part of you is a part of you that has allowed you to gain weight. Okay. And could you choose a hand for that, please, to represent that part of you? Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you. And the other part of you is the one that says, I would really love to be slender. It would be nice, just to be a lighter version of myself. Okay. All right. So and it's important. It really doesn't matter which hand you choose. It's just that it's kind of just what it feels right to do. So what we're going to do is start with the part of you that would like to be slender and tell me the advantages of being slender.
Mobility, fitting into things that are in my closet. That I will sleep better. And do I need more? There's
As many as you can come up with.
Oh, that's what I can come up with right now. The mobility is so important. So I'm working out all the time, but I know I would have better mobility if I had less weight on me.
And so you'd feel freer, perhaps?
I feel freer. I would feel that I would be able to run longer. I'd be able to jump rope longer. And that makes me happy. Like I love doing stuff like that. It would give me more active energy space. To be able to do
Yes.
stuff. Go on bigger hikes.
Yeah, and just feeling lighter, just that sense of being light. I like that idea. They say that why can angels fly, and it's because they take themselves lightly. And that's it. We sometimes get burdened with thoughts and ideas that are heavy and serious, and I think we reflect that in our physical body, because they say, well, yeah, it's a heavy life, I'm heavy, and it's all in the words a lot of the time that we use. All right, that's a good list, and let's go to the part that has added some weight, heaviness to you and to all of us. And by the way, the people that are perhaps watching this, you can also go along with us if you have this same concept that you'd like to do, and just put your two hands out and join us. So the part that we talked about was the slender. Now, what are the advantages of having an extra weight?
I can eat
Is what
I want for that moment. When I was more slender,
you get to satisfy a taste or an idea that you have for food. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. And I used to think about it more on this side, where this is the side where, okay, I'm already have some weight on me. I get to go have a cookie. I get to have a little extra bite. It gives a story. Gives a story about, why this weight gain is here. I'm a speaker, so have a little story with it, which is maybe entertaining. I'm used to, and I'm learning not to be a victim, and it gives me that space sometimes feeling sorry for myself. It's just another last spot, of like visual of like that. Not feeling sorry for myself.
And what about protection?
Well, I understand maybe what that question is, like protection away from other people because it gives more space, or what would protection be?
Well, most often for women, it's protection from men.
Okay. Well, maybe that I wouldn't even think that would be in my realm of things, but in my background, I bet I'm still working on that. So that would be that I used to, but it's probably something I'm still working through, that all men were, and it would be bad words. They, they're mean, they're assholes. They, and I've heard lazy for nothing, whatever, even though my husband's far from that. But yeah, I mean, some really heavy stuff that I've been working on clearing, but I bet there's still some things that I'm working on.
Well, because it just kind of says, I'm not available in a way, and because it's not just the weight that we gain, then it becomes a sort of an attitude as well. And so you don't get hit on all the time and all that.
Oh, Verlaine, you're picking up something here. As I'm slimming down, I'm getting more attention, and I never was comfortable with that.
There you are. You see?
Okay. Yeah, when somebody looks at me longer, or they are noticing something that they like about me, which is not my personality, because it used to be all about my personality when I was even when I first started gaining weight. It's like, oh, they're interested in me because like I'm saying these great things and all that kind of stuff. But as I've been slimming down, but when I was slender, there were so many things that were not so good that would happen, that probably me, inviting in, that was just very unhealthy.
Yeah. It's a scary thing because, the world of sexuality and attention. And I have a cure for that as well, which I will tell you, and that we will add to that, because of a way that you can be beautiful and attractive, and men won't hit on you. They won't create a problem for you. And actually, I'll go ahead and say it. We have different chakras. We have 7 chakras. And those are energy. For those that don't know, that's the energy wheels that are patterns of energy that are feeding different areas of our life, starting at the base chakra, then the sexual chakra. These are energy wheels kind of that are spinning in and out. And it's been shown that this is actually true. And then we have our heart chakra and our throat chakra where we speak. And we have our third eye where we're able to see beyond our eyes and have our intuition. And then our crown chakra that connects us to spirit. What I did in the business world, when I was in my 30s and 40s, and mostly men around, and in the high-tech industry, all men.
Yeah.
Because I knew about the chakras, I said, wouldn't it be interesting to close down a little bit my sexual chakra. So I
Wow.
just pictured it like an eye that you just kind of close down and open my heart more.
Mm.
They didn't hit on me ever. I mean, I was treated with respect. I was treated, and I was pretty, at the time. And so
Verlaine, you're a hot mama right now. So
I like that. Thank you. At 81, I particularly like it. It's totally awesome to me to have been on the planet this long. So I did, and then I did an experiment that I was out at dinner. It was a business dinner with a gentleman who had always just been business. And we're sitting in this nice restaurant, and I thought, I'm going to test this. And I just pretended that I opened my sexual chakra. Okay,
yes.
just opened it up. This guy basically almost jumped over the table. He says, Verlaine, I've always thought you were wonderful. I really would like to date you. And then I closed it. And he popped back in his chair.
I understand, Verlaine. This is an incredible conversation.
Yes, because it works. I mean, it was amazing. And he just went right back as if nothing had happened, and just right back to this business guy. So it works. And yet my heart is open. So they feel a caring, a love for me, but the chakra is down. And I could be as attractive as I wanted and have fun with that, and then, but not have any problems.
Oh,
So
I understand that energy. Thank you for just that experience, just you sharing that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So we have two different lists right now. And this is what we do in each area from health, whether it's a major illness or something as simple, I wish it were simple, as losing weight. And that we are, then we also in our wealth and our love, our relationships, and our self-expression, because that is one of the most important healers that we can do for ourselves, is do some sort of art, singing, dancing, anything that is our self-expression, which is going to need to be more and more part of our lives as the AI becomes more and more doing the jobs that we don't particularly want to do.
Yeah.
So we more and more have to get into our creativity and have fun. Okay. So let me ask the part of you that has been having the experience of being overweight
Mhm.
and feeling heavy.
Mhm.
What if you could satisfy your taste and it wasn't, it didn't add weight to you, and but you're not going to, eat a whole pie, but you'll be able to have that cookie taste or whatever. You
Mhm.
can be able to entertain people with other stories, and maybe even telling the story of how you let that extra weight go. You released it. And that being the victim and feeling sorry for yourself, you can find some other ones to feel sorry for. No, I don't want you to find
The
other
human
ones to feel
condition.
sorry for yourself. I'm teasing, but there's nothing to feel sorry about, because you are in the now of this moment. That's where your power is. That's for everybody out there. Our power is in this moment, and we're changing an experience in our minds and hearts as we talk. And that you no longer need the protection that you were using it for. That all of the things you thought about men, you realize are not true for all men. There's a good, probably 70 to 80% of the men that are terrific, right? And there's maybe 20 to 30 not so terrific, but you're going to meet the best ones if you have that desire. Okay, so now on the slender side, you'll have mobility. You'll be able to fit into your clothes beautifully. You'll be very attractive. You'll be freer. You'll live longer. You'll be active, and you'll feel light. Is that all right with you, that the part of you that was keeping the weight on, would you be willing to change your behavior if Rhonda could have all of those things?
Yes, and I can feel it in my body when you were saying it, how tasty it was to tell stories. And yeah, it felt very easy to rid myself of this because as you were explaining it, it just felt like, well, that should be easy. That's how exciting at this moment it feels.
Excellent. All right, I'd like you to close your eyes and go have the part of you that's been holding on to the weight and to the extra musculature and the fat cells and all the things that you don't really need for your body. Go to the creative part of your being to come up with 3 ways in which all the things that I talked about can happen. This creative part of your being is a beautiful room filled with golden light. And in there are angels and incredible computers that have all the answers of the universe. And what they're going to do is come up with 3 ways in which this can happen, in which it'll be easy and basically fun to release this extra poundage that is pounding on you, that is not giving you the freedom you need. And I want you to, all parts of your being, to check those 3 ways. You do not need to know what they are in consciousness at this time. And what I want you to do is hold up your 2 hands and see both of them. See the one, sort of like a little girl. She's so cute. And she says, but I want another cookie. Come on, you know. And the other part of you is the grown-up, beautiful lady who says, I want to be my full self. This cookie isn't going to make the difference of me being my full self. I want to have the mobility, the being able to fit in great clothes, to feel freer, to live longer, to be active, to be light. I want to be able to satisfy my taste, but with healthy food, and be able to have the excitement of being free and never having to feel sorry for myself anymore because I have so much. And that gift is not what it feels like to be in pain, but to share your joy. And that you will have protection because you're protected by your guardian angels. You're protected by your ability to understand spiritual information and your intuition. And what I want you to do now is slowly bring the 2 hands together until they're touching. See them coming together. And intertwine the fingers. And see them hugging each other. And bring them up to your chest, to your heart. And see all parts of you forming a huddle around these 2, sending love and healing to the 2 in the center. And your higher self, that greater aspect of who you truly are, sending love and healing to the 2 in the center and out to all parts of your being. See them walking hand in hand, going down a pathway. Some roses on either side and up a hillside and onto a bench. And there they're going to talk together and share how they're going to work together, how they're going to use that energy that up until now said, I might as well have another piece of cake. I might as well eat a big piece of toast with cheese and jelly. All the stuff that we've said because we just were stuck. And the 2 of them now are going to work together to be this exciting, incredible, beautiful, fabulous woman and have it just feel so good, just feel wonderful. And you look out on the hillside and the trees and the flowers and the butterflies and know that this is true. And at any point, if other parts of your being want to speak to you, you're going to listen, you're going to work with them and be able to help them to become part of the whole so that you are one powerful being in the moment of right now.
dizzy through that. I could feel things moving.
Yeah, it does. It does. It absolutely creates new synapses and connections in the brain. I am sure of it, because you don't have to work at this. It just is done now. And then you'll just see yourself acting in new ways, feeling differently. And if you suddenly feel I got to have a cookie, have a stupid cookie, but it's like, that this is where you're going, and that you can get the exercise you need. You can get the, you'll be aware of ads that say, oh, look, you can remake your body. And you'll say, oh, that's interesting, and it just different opportunities to be your best.
I could feel stuff preparing. My things are just like, I was like thinking, I have a back to my chair. I have like a saddle chair. And so I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, I can feel all of a sudden it's moving. I didn't equate it that the exercise that we were doing was doing that. But once I brought this together, I started recognizing how it brought more calm into what we were doing. My insights were interacting. Wow, that was great.
Oh, cool.
This is
I'm going to hold up my book here, The Power of Wholeness. It's all there, and all the information about how to do it. It's basically like a workshop in a book, and everything that you need to do it for yourself and with other people. And it's so powerful.
Dr. Verlaine, where did you create this yourself, just through the experience that you had? This is what you created, or where did you learn this skill where you're bringing those together?
By the way, your microphone, I can't hear you too well.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, when I took that class and was that guinea pig, it was similar to this, but what I've done is expanded it into my own version. I call it the infusion integration technique or process. And one day I thought I need another word, and infusion came. And I looked it up, and in that particular dictionary, it said, when spirit enters form. And I thought, okay.
Dictionary.
And so I just started using it for whatever reason. This being upset about the way somebody else treated somebody. Okay, what's it doing for you to get so upset about that? Well, I have to be aware of what's going on around me, and I should intervene. And the other part, what is if you could just watch and possibly intervene if you need to, but you're not going to have this rumble going on inside of you. You see, so this is, and then when I did the integration on being stabbed with this guy, it was so shocking. He says, what did it do for you? And you go like, are you kidding me? Well, when I thought about it, John had just gone to San Francisco to got a job up there. There was a talk I was going to go, but he came back, right? I moved out of Los Angeles back home to Carmel. My life became better and better. Okay, the guy that was working with me said, what if you didn't have to go through such drama and trauma, and you could get your life back in order, right? Oh, there's a good idea. So if you think of,
that,
wow, and the major thing that I emphasize in the book and throughout my life is our intuition. And that is such a major part of it, because when you are coming up to whatever is happening, you have to listen, not just listen, obey. Because what did I do? I'm in this underground parking garage. I'm going toward the door to get to my car. There's 2 elevators, and this man is coming in. He's dressed in a guard uniform. I look in his eyes, and the voice in my head says, run. And I argued, run? Why should I run? I don't feel like when I'm tired, I don't want to, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right. And before I could get to the door, his arm was around my neck with a knife at my throat. Oh, that's why I was supposed to run. Right. And he was pushed me toward the other door. The elevator came down, 2 men came out, and he stabbed me in the back to get away. And they pulled me in, and then my lung collapsed. And to say that there was an advantage, it's really hard. If you've got a deadly disease, what's the advantage? Well, it's a way out, isn't it? It's a way out of a problem that you may not think you know how to solve. And it's so incredible to have a tool that you can work with, and sometimes you say, okay, here's the two parts of me. They caused that accident, right? Okay, get together. You just want to smash them,
You caused it. It's like,
to
yeah.
go through the process, it helps to realize that. And it may be, I didn't have any desire to be stabbed. Are you kidding me? Nobody has a desire to get a deadly disease or have no love in their life. But these things happen because we have beliefs that say we got to find a way. They've got to find a way to handle it. And the body comes up with the body or the soul being comes up with a way to manifest that. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. And I can see, so your book has exercises in it and ways to kind of look at your life and your journey to be able to connect with all that.
Yes. And looking at what it is that you really want in your life. What is it you're good at? What would you like to be better at? I had never, as a kid, I did drawing, but I never had done a painting. So how old was I? 76. I saw a little easel at Costco, and I said, well, I'll buy that, and I put it up, and I started painting I got a book on painting. And this is just in my spare time. I'm working, right? And I just start painting. Well, John, who is an artist, my love, we've been together 55 years. He came in the house and he saw, you're really good. And I said, I am. And he bought me a big easel. He bought me, canvases and proper paint. And so that's on my website, Creative Life Adventures as well. Some of my pictures. And then I have another website with the paintings. And it was so much fun. And, but we don't know necessarily what we can do. Okay. So let's get busy at being our full selves as much as possible.
I love that. You are at a beautiful age of just entering into your 80s. You are doing this work. You're creating extra energy and health in your life and alignment. What do you think this next chapter in your life is about in being able to affect? And you've been all over the place traveling, so you're doing virtual things. So what do you see your work can do globally to be able to help and assist people out there that are looking for extra support, understanding they don't have to feel things that they are feeling now that are not serving them at all, and the tools and the knowledge that you have? What do you see the type of work that you are going to be doing in this next part of your life?
Yes.
Global vision and your bigger vision of stuff.
Yes, I've written a book that I haven't published yet. It's called A Planetary Vision. And it has, you're very good. And it has new governmental systems that I have put together. And I did it quite a long time ago, over 10 years ago, and didn't publish it yet. And now with what's going on in our government, I really want to get it off to Elon Musk and to the president, and just for them to look at. And I describe, what these different areas have to do with each other. The idea of the planetary management system is that every council has on it someone representing the rest of it. So all of our interaction with the planet, our health, our business, teaching, the the animals, the environment, all of it, and then each one would be focused on a main subject but bring their expertise together on it, so that we get a much more balanced view of everything that we're doing, and rather than off on their own, like it's been happening. So yes, and I love the idea of speaking at the United Nations and all that. So who knows whether that will happen, but I feel like our participation in the world and the way that we are able to bring balance within ourselves and within our lives, that just serves so much to bringing the earth more in balance. What's happening now with the planet is it's going through these major changes. And what I've been told by my guides is that we went through a 5,000 year planetary vibrational frequency, and we've come to the edge of it, sort of like the Gulf Stream. Evidently, when a ship goes through the Gulf Stream, it's rough on one side and it's rough on the other, but smooth in the middle. And so we're in the rough part now, which is bringing us closer and closer to being spirit in form, closer to allowing that to come in. But also what it's doing is bringing up all the emotion of centuries. And that's why everything seems so crazy. And it is crazy because it's the energy is moving. So the key thing is to help yourself and as many people as you can to work through the problems that they feel and allow that energy to be expanded out. Because as we've gone into the fourth dimension, which is the astral realm, we're moving into the mental realm, which is where thoughts become reality faster and faster and faster. Yeah. And
Wow.
yeah. And so by being balanced, looking at what's bothering you and really writing it down, finding out what is stopping you, and, doing the integration for wholeness if you can, it makes a big difference.
I love it. Thank you for spending time with us today. So we have the power of wholeness that we're talking about that's out there for everybody to grab right now. Do some exercises and get into truth. Keep moving forward. That's what we need out there. We want to help and support building resilience and feeling like we really are #speaker locking arms. We're really supporting each other. And I love all the stuff you're up to, Miss Young Woman. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Verlaine, for stopping by and playing with us.
Well, thank you so much. You are a delightful person, and you also have planetary views and global concepts that are very, very helpful. All of the things that you were sending to me that I paid attention to, of your working with the foods we eat and the various aspects, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that. And receive. I appreciate that. All right. Fresh Talks Global Vision. I love you so much. I'm so happy that we get to play in this space, and I'll keep bringing information about what happened in the exercise that I did with Dr. Verlaine. And my dizziness was so incredible. And if you're seeing this in replay, I want you to add what your experience was. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna keep healing and getting better and better just by understanding what our body's trying to do is actually heal itself. But all the extra stuff that we decide we're gonna play in, stress and like weight gain and all those kinds of things we're kind of playing with and serving us for some reason. Dr. Verlaine says that it's serving us out, but why don't we go to the other side? We can have it all with the stuff of like extreme perfect health when we stop playing with this other side of like, well, is that really serving you?
Yeah, and bring them together.
Namaste. Love you.
With love. Yes. Thank